Hello out there. It's me, and we're here starting Shrimp of the House X. Um, I think because of the timing of this piece, I've decided to sort of kind of merge two ideas together that I had. Um, Sort of like in the back of my head, I wanted to do maybe a Christmas spectacular episode, um, but um, it's sort of like next in line has been this idea that we're going to finally meet, after 10 episodes, we're going to finally meet and learn about Liz's family. From the beginning, we've seen David and his brother, the extended family, that. So, um, going back to the last issue, Showtime, it really did set up for this story that I've got going on here. And because of the timing, I was toying with the idea of, like I said, a Christmas in the back of my head. I didn't really have anything definite, which makes it easy to fold into this one. But so I kind of decided to set the backdrop as Christmas here. So I've done a little bit of decorating. It's it's the same tree I use in every other story. When I do a Christmas sequence, I just recolor the balls, and then I've thrown in some poinsettias around. The house isn't too decorated because I don't know yet. I don't quite know yet if I'm going to do Christmas at the end of the story, or if we're just going to be spending the story in this prepare for Christmas time. But and also I'm a little I'm kind of, like, at this point, open ended on how this story is going to play out. So I've got a basic idea, but as far as the nitty gritty, you're going to be surprised right along with me. And I'm the one making it. So my normal numbering system, I don't expect this to go across multiple days. So I'm just going to give these images a 3-digit number throughout this book, and just number them 1 to, whatever, 3, 4, 500, whatever it ends up being. So I've staged this, and I'm going to hit render, and if you've been following along with the muscle growth stories and any of the shrinking stories outside of this universe, I've been rendering in 3Delight. With Shrimp of the House, I was using intermediate OpenGL, the OpenGL render image. The kind of it's got some downsides, is in that I'll get the look basically that you see on screen instead of something a little more photorealistic. Plus, I don't get reflections. So, but the flip side is these images are going fast. I do have things going on outside of this. I might end up breaking anyway, but otherwise, if I go straight through, this should go quickly. So I'm going to hit render, and then I will come over here. And with this story, I've got a text box. I'm going to Control C on that. And I don't have a guide open, so I'm gonna open a guide. There we go. Oh, what is this? Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, I copied an old guide, so um, with what the heck was it? Roommates. I didn't use a text box. I didn't use this. Is this? What is going on? Oh, I see. It looks like it's transparent. That's because it's okay. So now I'm okay. I get everything. Let's see. What I did end up doing is before I started, I kind of redid the text box a little bit. Um, I think with Burn Pit, I colored in the speech bubbles so that it's not the pure white I've been using. It's sort of a slightly off color. So I ended up redoing the text box so that it's got the same slightly off white color. Um, and I don't expect to use the text box a lot in this story. I think it's just gonna, I think I'll probably just use this third person narration just to introduce the story, and that might be it. Who knows? Maybe I'll pop a few of these in later, but I think that was the downside with Roommates. Was I tried to do it without the third person narration, and I think largely it works, but it does feel like some of the transitions are sudden, are weird, and I think if I had done it, it might have benefited, even though, like in my mind, even though I still like, oh, there, see, I got the picture already. I'm sitting here talking. See, so I got like this cartoonish, so I got the little cartoonish look that you get that like I've been using for the Shrimp at the House series. So I'm gonna save that. Let me do this while I'm thinking it's gotta put caps lock on. Um, Early December in the Smith household and ellipse. Okay, so pull that and let's see. Okay, that didn't bold. There we go. And we'll just trim this as needed. Oops, I gotta take off rounded corners. There we go. Edit, cut, none, edit. I think the text box has a thicker border than the word bubbles, but oh well. Well, not oh well. I mean, I knew it was going to do that when I created it, but edit, paste as. And this is page one. This is part one. This isn't a very exciting or very. This probably isn't going to be a very interesting page. Oh joy. There we ah. There we go. But I got so used to doing these, and I got so used to open as layers. like talking to you guys and kind of voicing a lot of the thoughts that go on in my head. Let's see, I am on percent. Okay. Because I don't know how it is for anybody else, and I'm not like trying to question anybody's intelligence by any means. But it's like my mind is just like always on. Um, it's just like always thinking. So sometimes it helps to, sometimes it's kind of nice to like get these thoughts out because it's like sometimes my mind goes faster than I'm able to talk. So even if I'm just sitting here talking to myself, it kind of helps to sort of slow things down and try and organize thoughts a little bit. um, so it's like going the month without yes, without recording and without talking. It's been almost lonely, I guess. I don't know. Um, how are you? So I wanted to come in right from the beginning, and what did I do? Invert. See, that's the thing. My mind is always going, but I can't focus on two things at once. Invert edit. God. Down. Let's focus on you. Uh, oh, you can look this way. Let's see. And remember this one too. For you, Control C. Alright. So I think one thing, what I wanted to do with this one, because this is the 10th volume, um, oops, I'm not caps lock. Now let's have him say the name. Okay, here we go. I'm going to introduce everybody because I can't assume that you know the character's name. Somebody might be jumping on in this story and then decide to go back. So one of the things I wanted to do when I started it a while ago was I sort of wanted to do an issue 0 kind of thing. There we go. And the whole premise is that the family comes home and finds the creator sitting on their couch. And over the course of the issue, he lays out a vision of the series going forward. And it's like what he, it's sort of this like dark joke that the vision laid out is really horrible and basically like counter to everything this series is and that sort of thing. even though there were some good ideas, I like plan to lay out. Still, it's the idea is he lays out this plan that like would ultimately just turn the series into something horrible, and with like the end of the issue being that like they set him straight, and it kind of reminds the creator, here we go, see, I got a picture, what this series is really about, what the fans what you the fans like about this series. That sort of thing. I can't really get into it. I don't know. Layers. I just can't. I don't know. It's like I just can't get myself into it. It feels almost like a mix of too much of a vanity thing and a lot of creation for stuff that'll never be. But let's see. What are we going to do? Layer to image size. Edit, cut. But what it's done is it's given me an idea or two that could become a different project later. And hopefully I didn't mess that up. Okay. Early December in the Smith household. Carefully, don't drop it. And two, in creating some of the characters for the scenario, I basically just shoot. So like one of the characters that was created for the issue 0. I was kind of able to use for Liz's brother, instead of having to spend like half a day creating a character. Oh shoot. Oh, I'm not even on. I don't have a camera. Okay. Here we go. And I should put a camera for that reason. Let's. There we go. Okay, we're gonna do that. And grab this guy. Control C. I think part of me too wants to get like another real project out there, and I think trying to do that issue 0 idea was going to end up being a drag. Let's see. go. Yes. Oh, mark that down. Paste as new layer. So I'm going to come in with this. Okay, there we go. So the idea here is we're going to introduce everybody before kind of getting into the real story. But with this one, in addition to meeting Liz's mother, I also have, I'm also dealing with the fact that um, it's Allison who has the size changer, and not the rest of the family, but the parent, Liz and David, still don't know yet. As far as they're concerned, David threw it away months ago, and well, not maybe just 1 or 2 months ago, but the idea is David threw it away, so they think it's in the landfill at this point. So it kind of gives that surprise when in this story the mayhem begins. There we go. See, the OpenGL engine goes a lot faster, but like I said, I get that trade-off where I prefer I don't have kind of real photorealistic, or not real, but scale layer 33. I think what I'm going to do going forward, outside of, it's to sort of get beyond this project and this page and for a moment, but I think one thing I'm going to do with sort of those with future projects outside of this universe, um, when using 3D Light, let's see, it's like invert, shrink, invert, edit, cut. Because these projects are just getting bogged down with the render times, I think I'm going to kind of get back to basics a little bit and cut back on the reflections I put on all the wood surfaces. I think with future projects, I sort of won't be trying to get that realistic feel. I don't think I don't think it entirely comes through once everything is scaled down, trimmed, and whatever. Oh no, I got the close folder and I got Jackson and Alex, so let's unparent. And see, it's because I basically took the set I was using in for issue 0 there. As you can see, I've still got the avatar is what I named the creator. Oh, so we got these two. I had already set them up, but I need his eyes. There we go. Shoot. There we go. Oops. No. Okay. I'm trying to grab both their heads. So I get kind of a clean shot. Zoom out just a little. Okay, here we go. Number 4. Let's see. Great. Let's see. I'm just sort of making up a fictional movie here. They just ran away. So how about we just call him Tully? Basically, yeah. So the premise here is I'm opening up is to introduce the characters while at the same time getting everybody out of the house. Paste as new layer. See, if you've been watching the other videos, like notice how fast this is going. Merge down. Oops. I guess I copied that twice. Oh well. Edit. Cut. And as I'm doing this, I'm not 100% sure. Well, see, I'm not really sure what I want to say on this because I don't know yet if I'm going to be spoiling something or not. But it's the idea is this is going to be another where there's more than one character that gets reduced. Save. So what's going on in my mind as I'm working on this is I don't know yet if it's all going to be at once or if it's going to be one character and then another. It's going to be one of those things where I'll kind of decide based on how. Oh, I got my picture. Or no, it's coming in now. There we go. I'll make that decision based on how I feel. Shoot. And I'm sitting here just like blankly saving these images, but I've got to be careful because OpenGL here has a nasty habit of rendering a random box within the image differently. I don't know if you've seen it if it's come up in a video for a previous Shrimp of the House story or not. And I don't know if I'll happen to catch it here, but if I do, I'll show you what I mean when it comes up. Scale 33. So what I'm going here is not just to get oh shoot. Okay. Is not just to get them out of the house, but it's sort of it's sort of to put them in this sort of rare moment that they get along without fighting. It's the idea is that, like, as much as these kids are at each other's throats, we're giving you a moment where it's not like that. Invert. Let's see. Yeah, with Alex, I'm using clothes that weren't meant for this figure, so they don't fit right, and it cheats it with a smoothing modifier. Let's see. So you're going to see the poke through it every time I move him. Ah. Let's go with Oh, that's right. She's hunched over a little bit. No. Okay, there we go. Let's grab it from here. Let's twist her. And I think it's time to. I'm not sure I'm going to get the shot I want here. Maybe if I take the tree out. You know what? This might be one of those where I just take the tree out of the picture. Let's start collapsing. Gonna get Xmas stuff in the tree. There we go. This is the Z-axis. I just want to bring him in closer. Okay, so let's number this one 5. How about this one? Oops. I don't know. For some reason, this one, I think this story, I've been a little hesitant about it to begin with. Let's go, Alex Jackson. Where are you going? I thought you'd stay and help decorate the tree. Because I mean, I planned it for. Shoot. Whoops. What am I doing? Okay. I'm going to resize this box for the most part once I have the picture, but I can go ahead, I think, and change its height. But so I've been hesitant on this one because I had expected this to be the next one, and then it struck me that this story would be number 10 in the series. And in a way, I wanted to do something kind of special to mark that. I wanted to do a story that was kind of that would sort of go with I don't know how big number 10 would be, and I just like I felt like I was locked into this story. So I've been like I have to say I've honestly been hesitant to do this one, which is probably why I did Burn Pit and then well no I think Burn Pit I was gonna do next at that point anyway. It was I think why I did Roommates before doing this one. Because I've just been like in my mind I've been kind of putting this one off a little bit, but and like to some extent I think why I've been going with sort of more of the muscle growth universe and hitting up the short tales stories here and there because it's kind of getting harder and harder to um, kind of think oh no okay for a second I thought the kitchen I had the furniture off in the kitchen, but then it struck me that there's just nothing over in this part of the kitchen to see anyway. So, okay, let's see. So it like feels like problem is I don't want to really do the same story over and over again. Each piece, like in my mind, like I just have to scale, just sort of have to do something different, and it's getting kind of harder and harder to like what can I do with these characters? It's different. Um, oh, okay. this one a little oversized. You know what? I should have gone all. Yeah, I should have done this one all the way across. Not a problem. Plus, it gets easier. It's like actually easy to think of stuff to do with these characters that doesn't involve the size change shtick. Um, so I mean, here in the universe, it's Alex's senior year, so I could be doing storylines. You know, I could be focused on him and the college preparation, search, etc., etc. Invert, shrink. But the idea is, let's see, select none. Then it becomes like, how do you fit that in? Or how do you tie it in with like a shrinking misadventure? Okay. You're gonna go here. I mean, it's like +2. Like, it's become so common in this household that how do you keep recapturing the surprise and humiliation? Like, at this point, I mean, if you're any of these characters, like, not from our point of view outside the story, but from the point of view inside the story, like, if you're any of these characters, like, how is it a surprise? You know, how does it become a surprise when it happens? Like, you know, if you're David and you become like a victim of the size changer again, you know, that like, you know, that whole mystery and embarrassment, it's kind of gone at this point. To where now it's just like frustration, like the oh no not you know, it's like the oh no not again feeling. And you know, at this point it's, you know, it's like you'd kind of just be along for the ride. You know, it's kind of, you know, it's, you know, it's kind of hard to sort of recapture a lot of the feelings and emotions and mystery, like mystery, embarrassment, whatever, you know, a lot of the stuff that you can capture in a new story where the characters aren't used to this by now. So, so I guess that's where it becomes harder to sort of like think of stories that kind of keep it fresh. Um, let's see, I think I gotta zoom out because this is gonna be a narrow panel. Okay, there we go. This one's 6. You guys thought you'd stay and help decorate the tree. Let's see. There we go. Just something simple. But so I think so. Like kind of going forward. Um, and again, it's part of like this ongoing thing of turning over elements of this set as sort of like is sort of like my product library. My library gets sort of bigger as I sort of as sort of start swapping out some of these like lower quality, low poly props with stuff that looks a little better on top of just becoming overall more sophisticated with this work. Let me just reel on that. That's like another thing is this set is almost completely obsolete at this point, even though like probably a few stories prior I actually remodeled the house set from scratch. But it's sort of like the ongoing desire to just completely like update everything. It's the next story. I've already decided is going to be called Recall. The premise being that they learn there's a recall on the size changing and the size change device. As like a long overdue excuse to swap the low poly ugly thing that they've been using for something a little better looking. Which is weird because I've already got the name for that one, but I still don't have a name for this one. Open as layers. Scale 34. I've toyed with something like just calling it like Xmas, Xmas something, Xmas fun, spectacular, that sort of thing, just to keep like the X for 10. Not to diminish, not in any way. Let's see, not a commentary of, not in like any way trying to say I'm taking Christ out of Christmas. I'm not to get into that, but the idea is like because this is Shrimp at the House 10x, that sort of like it goes along that lines. But I don't know. Um, let's see. Shrink. Okay. Oh, invert, edit, cut, and select none. And we go merge down. That is page 1. Let's go file, save, image, select in, and we go file, export, and no, I gotta change it to JPEG. Click up here and go enter, export. There we go. And now we've got our very first page. There we go. Early December in the Smith household. Careful, Aiden, don't drop it. I didn't, Daddy. Oh, this is going to be great. In the last movie, they didn't get rid of him. They just ran away, so Tully's ghost is still in the house. Alex, Jackson, where are you going? I thought you'd stay and help decorate the tree. Well, looks like you're almost done with it. Yeah, I know, not a very exciting page. Not a very exciting story-wise, but, that's page 1. I hope that was a good introduction for this story. Like I said, I've just been burning to record after being quiet for a month. So anyway, I'll see you next time, whenever that is. And I hope you're all still doing good out there.